All right, everybody. Welcome back. It is From the Pocket. I am Jake. Over there is Christian wearing his Paige Becker's hat,
Go
repping
Paige.
Dallas. And what a fitting hat to wear today, Christian, because we are talking about the NFC East.
Last division.
Our last division of previews. We have previewed 7 divisions up to this point. This is the last one, and I gotta say, I'm kind of excited to be done with it because it means we are right around the corner from football. And it's also a lot of work to prep teams.
Yeah, it is. Not a big fan of the offseason stuff. I'm more like the making predictions and then see where we go from there.
Yeah, no, I 100%
watching the games and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, and I'm trying to watch as much game. I saw a meme. It was like, I'm never taking for granted a Colts Titans game on Thursday Night Football again. I'll watch that.
Well, we say that now, and then we
Yeah,
get in the middle of the season, and we're like, really? We gotta watch Cam Ward versus Daniel Jones. Come on.
I'd watch it. I like Cam Ward, but anyway,
yeah, I like Cam Ward too.
It is our final division, and I gotta say, it is an incredibly interesting division.
Yes, I will agree. This is a division I would say I like all of these teams. I would say I have positive things to say about a lot of these teams, but it comes with some caveats, obviously.
And I will say the theme I came up with for this division is I have no idea what's going to happen. This
division. We haven't had a back-to-back winner since the Andy Reid Eagles side. I'm going to be curious to see. I've been playing since we're so close to predictions. I don't know who I'm going to pick to win this division yet.
Yeah,
I have an inkling of who I have my top 3, obviously.
This division feels like it has so much variation. I mean, you could make a case the Giants, are going to finish second place in this division this year. I know some people are doing that. Some people have the Cowboys finishing second. Some people have them finishing last. It is just all over the map what this could look like. So I'm excited. I think off the rip, though, we're getting started with probably the safest team of the bunch, the winners of the division last year. So I'll go ahead and tee us up. We're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles, y'all. The Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Philly, you know what? Yeah, I got to let you have it.
Put some respect on their name.
Put some respect on their name.
They won it.
Look.
They demolished the team.
They demolished the dynasty. And look, off the rip, here's some things I'll say about the Eagles. Is this team is it's insane how good this team is. It really is. Every year this happens in the NFC where everybody's like, oh, well, the team that won in the NFC last year, how's anybody going to beat them? They're probably just going to repeat. We did it with the Rams. We did it with the Bucks. We do it with the 49ers. We do this every single year. We did it with the Eagles the first time they won the Super Bowl. And I always say the same thing every year. I come on this podcast and I say, guys, there have only been 2 repeat NFC champions in the past 30 years. The Packers did it in the mid-90s, and a couple years before that, the Cowboys technically did it too. And then the Seahawks didn't do it until 2013, 2014, and then we haven't had it since. So it is the exception, not the rule, that you have even the seemingly best team in the division, in the conference, repeat. That said, if there is a team to repeat, I think it's this team. I'm not predicting they will. We'll do that on Monday, but I can't stress how good this team is. Pro Football Focus does position rankings. They rank the receiving core, offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, secondary, right?
They're number 1 or top 5 in a lot of those categories.
The worst ranking they have on those rankings is 8th place.
Yeah.
There's teams that don't even have a single group in the top 8 anywhere. The worst position, and Pro Football Focus said the secondary was the worst rated team on theirs. Now, going to Warren Sharp's, they also, across their entire team, which is even more broad, it's quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, offensive line, front seven, secondary, and head coach. The worst ranking they had was 8th place, and that was their front seven. So you look at this entire team. I mean, they're not just like really, really good here, really, really good there, and solid here. They are elite or borderline elite everywhere. So with that in mind, Christian, I'll go ahead and just tee you off here. I mean, are you worried that we are repping this team so much to the point that we might jinx them, or do you feel like this team is really that good, actually?
I mean, I do think they are that good. I mean, they have proven it. I mean, I like the GM, Howie Roseman. He addressed a lot of what they struggled with last year in 2023 when it was just a complete, utter disaster. You know, bringing in coordinators, Kellen Moore and then Vic Fangio. As we know, Kellen Moore has exited, and Vic Fangio's still there, so I still expect that defense to be solid. But I think, yeah, overall, this team is one of is very well built,
Mm-hmm.
like very well built. And I know they lost a lot of pieces on defense. Like that is an issue but I still think it'll be. They still have the guy Vic Fangio calling the play, so they still got that mastermind back there. It might take a little bit. Like I know they were, I think the 7th ranked defense last year, and was like top 5, top 10 in a lot of defensive categories, and that is to the Vic Fangio. So I still think, even though they lost some talent, I still think they could still be really good.
And I think their losses, like, to put it in a context, right, I feel like it's very similar to, like, when we talked about the Lions losing Frank Ragnow, right? Like, man, your offensive line is not going to be as good without Frank Ragnow. But even then, 27 some odd teams in the NFL would still kill to have the Lions offensive line minus Frank Ragnow. So even though I do agree with you, they did have a lot of losses on the secondary. I mean, or in the defense in general. I mean, Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Isaiah Rodgers, Brandon Graham retired, Oren Burks, Avonte Maddox. Now, a lot of those guys are kind of the depth pieces, right? They didn't lose any like key starters. A lot of those are more rotational people, but nevertheless, like even with those losses, I look at this team and I go, I still think 27 teams in the NFL would still kill to have this defense even with those losses. And then as you said, I mean, Howie Roseman, who at this point we can say it, he's going into the Hall of Fame as a general manager.
I mean, damn, yeah. I mean, yeah.
He is the best general manager in the game, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He has now won 2 Super Bowls with 2 basically completely different cores. Some carryover here or there, Brandon Graham, Lane Johnson, but nevertheless, like, different coach, different quarterback. I mean, different kind of schematics. And I think he did a great job of really restocking this team this year, even with its losses. I mean, they weren't super busy in free agency, but their draft was really, really good. And I just look at this team and I
took a lot of defensive players
Yeah.
and some tackles too. So yeah, they did lose some depth, but I think they added some in the draft and with their free agency as well.
With that, Christian, I don't know how much there is to say, but I'll let you talk about their 2024 season and what they accomplished.
I mean, they accomplished a lot. Obviously, they had a 2,000-yard rusher in Saquon Barkley. Defense was great. I would say though, a lot of people were talking about the switch that happened early in the season. They were 2-2, and they beat Green Bay that Friday after the Chiefs Ravens game. then they lost to Atlanta, beat New Orleans, and then lost to Tampa, and then they went on their bye. They had a Week 5 bye, and then they went into and rattled off. They went 12-1 the rest of the season. And I know everybody likes to kind of poo-poo on Jalen Hurts because of what they did and switching up their styles and stuff like that. But and what I'm talking about really is just like they went from a more pass-heavy team to a more we're gonna control you with a ball dominant uh, type of team after Week 5 after their bye. And I just want to talk about that a little bit because I think we just kind of say that 2-2, and then they took the ball out of Jalen Hurts' hands. And look, yes, Jalen Hurts versus pressure is not very pretty. He's very very bad at dealing with pressure, so he does need to work on that. But at the same time, you know they had injuries. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goddard, their top pass catchers, were all injured. Like we're in and out of the lineup throughout the season, so he didn't have them. And then I know we talk a lot about that Eagles offensive line with Jalen Jordan Mulata, Landon Dickerson, and Lane Johnson. They're awesome. Like, don't get me wrong, they're awesome at pass blocking and they're really good at run blocking. But this unit as a whole, uh, Dickerson, Ken Jurgens, their center, and then I guess their new guy Tyler Steen. They did not do well blocking the pass blocking.
They weren't terrible. They were very average to below average. I think is the personally the best way to put it. But
Oh yeah, I would
yes,
say that.
they struggled with stunts. They struggled with consistent, keeping up with that kind of
And
pressurized situation.
And I do want to say Jalen needs to play better. Like he needs to play better. Like he had not all of the sacks and lost downs are on the offensive line. It can be pointed at the quarterback too. So Jalen Hurts needs to be better, and that offensive line needs to pass block better. But I still think this team is still very very good. Like I said, they had a 2,000-yard rusher last year. You can't uh, you know Saquon had that awesome backwards hurdle he had.
It's the Madden
Got
cover.
it. Got the Madden cover. So yeah, I think overall, I mean, this team is still really good. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Saquon's gonna get another 2,000 yards, but I still think he'll be pretty productive. Don't get me wrong. I still think it's 15, 1,600 yards. I think that's still a productive offense. I would just say they need to stay healthier, really, just with their weapons, obviously. And then Jalen Hurts needs to do better with facing pressure and dealing with that better. And yeah, like you were talking about the top here, this team could definitely, if things go their way again, they could be another. They could be the NFC representative.
I agree, and I do want to go a little deeper on the Jalen Hurts thing because I have personally experienced this just recently because I made a top 5 short and I put Jalen Hurts at 5, and
I am right there with you, my man.
yeah, I don't. I'm glad we agree because I don't think it's debatable at this point. Like, everybody is telling me that, and I knew it's a very contentious topic, right? Everybody's got their own opinion on who should be number 5. We all agree on, maybe not the order of the first 4, but we all agree on the first 4.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to make the case for why I think Jalen Hurts is very undervalued and why I think we are very unfair to him. Because, well, he had a 2,000-yard rusher. It's like he didn't have that when he went to his first Super Bowl. It's like, well, but he has all this help, and it's like, look, I like Baker Mayfield, but Baker Mayfield has 2 top-level receivers. He had a running back last year that got 1,500 yards from scrimmage. He has a
fourth-round pick?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a really good offensive line. He had a head coach that he might have the best – I think he has the best tackle in football in Tristan Wirfs. And nobody is coming out here saying, well, Baker just has all this help. How can you put, like, when I put Baker at 7, nobody goes, how can you put Baker at 7? He's got all this help around him. Nobody says that. And that is the argument consistently with Jalen Hurts. And we're always moving the goalpost for Jalen Hurts because he went to the Super Bowl. Well, he had a 2,000-yard rusher. Well, what about the time he didn't have that? Well, then he had 2 really good coordinators. It's like, okay. It's like, and he always has A.J. Brown. He's like, but he didn't have A.J. Brown the first year he was the starter. His best receiver was a rookie Devontae Smith and Quez Watkins, and he got them to the playoffs. Like, and the goalpost just continuously moves. But the other thing that annoys me is, like, it's not only that Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback we kind of treat on this curve of, like, we're going to perpetually just talk about the help he has. We don't even do that with the Eagles players on the team, right? Like, nobody says A.J. Brown is dope. Well, he's got Devontae Smith and Saquon Barkley taking attention away from him. Nobody ever. I didn't hear nobody ever. You ask, hey, how would you rate Saquon Barkley? Well, he's the best. He's the best running back in the NFL. It's like nobody talks about the fact that Saquon Barkley failed to get 1,000 yards 3 out of 4 years from 2020 to 2023. And then the second he goes to the Eagles, he gets 2,000 yards rushing. If I came out here on this podcast and said, Saquon Barkley, I mean, really? Like, he's got the best offensive line in the league. What else is he supposed to do? It's like, okay. It's like, but no, they didn't have 2,000-yard rushers before. Like, it's a dumb argument. But yet, I feel like people are making that equivalent argument every day against Jalen Hurts. So, that's my soapbox. I think we're unfair. I think Jalen Hurts has clearly proved he's an elite level quarterback, or he's at least deserving to have the benefit of the doubt. I don't have another quarterback I would rather put above him. I just don't like. Are we really giving Baker Mayfield so much credit for his 41 touchdowns that he deserves to be that high? Jared Goff with those 37? Because, like, Brock Purdy, Matt Stafford, Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love. I mean, all of these quarterbacks had similar statistics to him last year. They all had around the same amount of touchdowns in terms of total touchdowns. And, I don't understand why we're so unfair to Jalen Hurts. It really is bizarre to me.
Well, he didn't, they're not throwing the ball all over the yard or whatever. And it's like, I think that takes extreme discipline and, trust in the coaching staff, because I think they went into that bye and they were like, hey, it's not working passing the ball, throwing it all around. A.J. Brown's hurt. Devontae Smith got hurt. I don't know exactly when, and Dallas Goedert, all of them got hurt. But, hey, like, we can run block pretty well. Like, we're doing pretty solid. And so, yeah, they made that shift. And Jalen Hurts, we didn't hear a peep. Now, we had A.J. Brown. He tried to throw his do whatever he did and talk about their passing. And then, I mean, the next game, Jalen Hurts did have a great passing game. Now I wish he could. I want him to do it more consistently. But, like, I don't need, like, we're not calling for Jalen Hurts to throw it 30 plus times in a game, then I don't need him to. We're up. We're winning. I don't care.
I agree. Well, it's also like there are not many quarterbacks that do well when you throw the ball a lot. Like, that's just what it is. Like throwing the ball a lot is typically not a good outcome. I mean, it means you're probably down, if anything, or it just means you're in balance and you can't run the ball, which, again, like, on 3rd and 2, you don't want to pass the ball. Like, at least not as a primary strategy.
Well, 3rd and 2, you could pass it. You could run it.
Yeah.
Throw a screen. Like, that opens it up.
But people, again, it's like Jordan Love had basically the same amount of pass attempts in the back half of the year as Jalen Hurts. Nobody is coming out here going, I don't know, can Jordan Love even throw the ball? I don't know, can he? Like, but it's also, I think people are just so past obsessed with quarterbacks. And I get it. Like, that's obviously the primary thing a quarterback does. But, like, people confuse the top 10 quarterbacks with the top 10 passers.
Yeah.
And they think they're the same thing, and they're not the same thing. Jalen Hurts does a lot more. Yeah, is he? If I was making a list of top 10 passers, I probably would not have Jalen Hurts on that list.
Yeah, of course.
But like being a quarterback is managing the game.
Yeah.
It's passing, it's running, it's picking up first downs, it's making play calls, it's having those intangibles, it's understanding the moment, it's knowing when to not take a sack, it's knowing when to avoid it. Like there's all these components that go into what makes a quarterback other than just I throw a ball pretty, bro.
I throw really good and I get a lot of yards.
And
It's like,
and like
okay.
I don't mean to shit on him, but like I feel like that's what like I feel like it's just such a basic level. It's like I'm gonna say, you know what? It's a casual take because it's the same kind of people that'll say Justin Herbert is the 5th best quarterback in the NFL, and it's like, yeah, maybe he's the 5th best passer. I'd probably be fine putting him as the 5th best. He is not the 5th best quarterback in the NFL. He has not been a good enough quarterback to be that high.
Jake. He's on the Peyton Manning. He's on the Peyton Manning trajectory.
And maybe it is. Maybe it is. Like, if he has a great year, I'm okay putting him up on the list. But like up to this point, like people are like, oh, he's such a good passer. It's like I don't, bro. Wait, what do you want? What do you want me to tell you? Like, I've got a dude who's been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. He's played great in both of them.
Has a Super Bowl MVP.
He's been a runner-up for league MVP. He's been a second-team All-Pro. And like y'all want to sit here and tell me mid, I'm like I don't know what y'all I don't know what to do with y'all. I digress. We've been talking about Jalen Hurts for too long. We got a lot more to talk about with this team. I will just offensively. I mean I think Saquon Barkley is going to continue to just have big years with this team as long as he stays healthy. Obviously.
Yeah, as long as he stays healthy. Not the 2,000 yards. That's crazy.
Well, and I also like. I'm not saying he's going to get hurt, but like, there is some wear and tear on your body. Like Christian McCaffrey went on a Super Bowl run and Christian McCaffrey basically had to take a year off afterwards. Like, I mean, there's wear and tear that goes on your body, especially in that position. So, I mean, they did bring in some help. Like they did draft a guy. They brought in AJ Dillon. So, I think they're going to be able to kind of, I hope A.J. Dillon can really play at the level he once could. He's coming back from a pretty serious injury. So I hope he's obviously good and able to stay at that level. But if he is, I mean, that is a quality of second or third option in your running back room. So, and then defensively, I'm going to say this. All right, I know what I want to talk about defensively. Jahad Campbell, I'm telling you guys, I'm making my call. Do not be surprised if he gets an All-Pro nod his rookie season.
Damn.
Do not be surprised. An All-Pro. He is that good. If he's got some health issues. I know he's been, but he literally could be like their kind of Micah Parsons type player. He kind of reminds me of like Edge Cooper. He reminds me of Micah, where it's like he's kind of an off-the-ball linebacker, and then it's like, oh, he lines up. Oh, my God, he's like really good at rushing the passer for some reason. Why is he this good at rushing the passer, too? So, I mean, you could put him everywhere. And under Fangio,
yeah, he's going to have a lot of fun.
And he's working next to Zach Bond. Like, yeah, dude,
amazing season last year.
I'm telling you, dude, that guy, I'm so excited for Jahad Campbell. I am so excited. In other news, I really do love just how they just continue to pad this depth, and I just love this team. I just love the way this team operates. I have such respect for it. I hate them, but like I respect them because I mean it's I've been talking a lot, but it's a marvel to really look at. Like, I feel like people should not hate on the Chiefs the way they do because it's like, guys, you're going to tell your kids about the Chiefs, bro. Like, you're watching history. Could you just take a moment to stop being like an asshole and just like appreciate it? And I feel like we're kind of watching that with the Eagles, where it's like, guys, this is like insane what they're doing. So I digress, Christian. I don't know what else you have to say, but I've said basically everything I mean,
New coordinator Kevin Patullo. That's going to be interesting to see. This is now Jalen Hurts is like sixth play caller like he's had in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had Doug Peterson in 2020, which was his head coach. Nick Sirianni in 2021, but then Shane Steichen took over. In 2022, Shane Steichen took over the entire time. 2023 had Brian Johnson, and then last year he had Kellen Moore, and now this year he's gonna have a new offense coordinator. So that's gonna be interesting to see. I imagine they're gonna probably stick to what works. We're gonna run the ball, and you stop it. You stop it. If you don't, then we're gonna change your strategy up. I do. What about their schedule? According to they're projected to have the 29th hardest schedule this year. A lot of playoff teams. I mean, a lot of big games here. They're going to be on national TV quite a bit, as you know. Opening up, dropping the Super Bowl banner week 1 versus the Cowboys. That's going to be fun next Thursday. We're so close.
Oh,
So
man.
close. Week 2, I got to go on the road, Kansas City. Week 3, we get a rematch of the divisional round versus the Rams. That was like the only close game they played in the playoffs. That should have been the NFC Championship game. The Bucks, who they have struggled with mightily, they play your Denver Broncos. I think the Vikings are going to be solid. Giants, we'll talk about the Giants. Uh, Green Bay, Detroit,
Chargers and the Bills.
Chargers and Bills and Washington toward the end of the season. That, man, I wish they would have got Washington at least mid-season, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, tough schedule for them. They're going to be playing a lot of good defenses.
There's really not a gimme. I mean, like if
It
you want to
really,
make the case
yeah.
that like, well, your gimmies are the Cowboys and the Giants and the Raiders and the Bears. It's like those. That's like maybe those are gimmies technically, but like those are not easy
Really tough.
gimmies.
No,
That's not the Saints.
These are like tough. These are tough games.
I mean, your
I
gimmies
think
are 4 divisional games. That's
we'll talk about the Giants, but I like the Giants.
I do too.
I don't love them, but I like the Giants. I think the Vikings are going to be solid. But yeah, the Raiders, yeah, like the week. Even with the Raiders, I still think they're going to be a solid unit. They'll play you tough.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like they probably won't beat the Eagles, but like it just goes to like, I mean, you're going to get everybody's best shot. You know, again, you said they have like I guess the 3rd hardest schedule or something.
I said that wrong.
No, you're good. I mean, but just to illustrate the point, like, I mean, you're getting the 3rd hardest schedule, and they're all going to play you tough. I mean, everybody sees the Eagles on their schedule. That's a circled game. I mean, that everybody wants to give the champ their best. So, that said, Christian, let's talk about the ceiling. Let's talk about the floor.
Yeah, I mean, ceiling's Super Bowl.
All right, so let me ask you this. Should they be disappointed if they don't win the Super Bowl?
I mean, I think that's a given, obviously. I think anything short of making the Super Bowl as an Eagles fan, I would be disappointed. Now, losing the Super Bowl obviously would sting and that would hurt, but like at least you got there and you did it back-to-back years. And look, I know that's a tough pill to swallow. Like, I don't want to make that seem like that's not like a very heartbreaking. But I think if they got to the Super Bowl, I mean, obviously they lose, that would be heartbreaking. But like at the end of the day, you did get there and you went back to back. Like that's nothing to scoff at. But I mean, yeah, as an Eagle fan, I'd probably be disappointed.
I mean, there's a lot to be said about even if you don't win the Super Bowl, still being the cream of the crop in your own conference, right? Like, that's what the Chiefs have right now. The Chiefs, you know, everybody was talking about the Chiefs got blown out and stuff, and, oh, man, can they get back? The Chiefs can look at that and go, I'm sorry, who in our conference is beating us? Because we've beaten the Bills 4 times.
AFC Championship games?
We've been to the AFC Championship 7 straight times. We've beaten the Bengals. We've beaten the Ravens. We've beaten the Bills twice now in the AFC Championship. Beaten the Bills 4 times overall. Like yeah, okay, the Eagles can have their dance and the NFC can be what it is, but like who in our conference is beating us? That's how I feel like the Eagles, even if they lose the Super Bowl, should feel. It's like, who's stepping to us? Are the Cowboys stepping to us? Or the Commanders? Or the Lions? Vikings? Like, y'all, we're still the cream of the crop, even if they lose. That said, I really, like, this team is, maybe it's premature, but like, I do feel like this team really does think they can have like a dynasty of their own. And
it starts here.
It does. And if you get bounced in the divisional round,
oh yeah,
you're all of a sudden you're like, okay, you had a really good team. That was a great run, but back to regularly scheduled program, business as usual. NFC team not able to repeat. And I think there's probably a little bit of pressure, but also a little bit of expectation from them. And I mean, like, you look at their squad, and it's like, you know, they have the talent to go do it. Like, they really, really do. And if they can get through this gauntlet of a schedule and get to the Super Bowl, bro.
I mean, I feel like, I know Kansas City's doubted, but we kind of, Kansas City's kind of used to that. I feel like this Eagles team is kind of doubted.
They are
this year. Like, so they can come into this year with a chip on their shoulder. Like, they don't think we can. We like stomped everybody last year after our bye. So like, I feel like I feel like they should feel a bit slighted going through this year, going into this year. And it starts with the Cowboys. Week 1, they're a hated division rival. So, they're probably gonna they should feel like, hey, like people do not think we are that good. You know, we lost a lot of talent on defense, lost a little bit on offense with some Becton leaving, all that with the line and stuff. But no, I still think this is really really good. Wins are 11.5.
I would lean over.
I think I would go slightly over, like 12-13.
I feel like if this team finishes 11-6, we're gonna be like, whoa, you lost 6 games? Really? Who'd you lose to? Like,
it'd be a little concerning.
It'd be confusing. So I feel like the over is safe. I mean, look, and that's not, people teams we think are really good take steps back. Now that said, I've never bought into the hype. I remember the Rams coming out of their Super Bowl year, and everybody was just like, who's stopping the Rams? And I was like, the Rams are not going to be good this year, y'all. Like, y'all just need to be ready for that. The Rams are not going to be good this year, and they weren't.
I do remember that, yeah.
I
called it.
I did. And like last year I was doubting the Eagles. I made some silly predictions that in hindsight look very silly, but guys, like, this is a real deal of a team.
He's coming around.
This like, I don't even. I mean, we'll talk about the Cowboys in a little bit. I don't even feel like in competition with them as at this point as a Cowboys fan. They're just so far above us. I'm just like, all right, it is what it is. Like, so. I mean, they blew us out twice last year, and I was just like, yeah, that's probably meant to happen. So anyway, all right, Christian, let's talk the Washington Commanders, the Commies. Okay.
Commies.
I kind of want to pass it off to you. I'll just give some really quick thoughts. I am very, very confused about what to make of this team.
Yes.
I'm very confused.
Extremely.
I look at this roster. I don't like it.
They're fielding on average, the oldest team in the league.
By far. I mean, by far. There's a massive gap between them and everybody else. And I just look at this roster, and I'm just like, nah, I don't like it. Your offensive line is fine. Tyler Biotish is cool, I guess. You have some nice tackles. I mean, I like Andrew Wiley. Obviously, Laramie Tunsil is a stud. He is a stud. And you drafted in the first round Josh Connerly, which, I mean, tackles are fine, but, like, I do not love your receivers. Terry McLaurin's great. Debo is your second. I love Terry, but I don't like anybody else.
Got that. Like Debo. Well,
I did not like Debo. No, I did. I liked Debo like 4 years ago. I don't like Debo now.
That's fair.
Now, I like your running back room. Okay, I know you just traded away Brian Robinson, but word on the street is, Krosky Merritt, the 7th rounder you picked up is going to be a really good player for you.
Hey, that's you getting
So,
good production out of the 7th round. That's very good.
and they still have Austin
Good.
Eckler. They still have Austin Eckler. So, but I mean, my point is like Zach Ertz is your tight end. Yeah, I like Zach Ertz like literally 10 years ago. Literally, I'm not even exaggerating.
10 years ago? I'd be like, damn, they got a beast.
I mean,
tight end.
I'm not even joking. Like, it's been that long. Like, it's been a long time.
I'm surprised he's still playing.
I am too. Like, you got Noah Brown, who, look, I was a fan of Noah Brown on the Cowboys. You know, I'm happy he's found a good home, but solid, decent third receiver, I guess. Debo is, I do not like. I have questions about your running, and I think this defense is still lacking a lot. Like, Dorrance Armstrong is cool. I'm a big fan of Dorrance Armstrong.
Bobby Wag.
You know, Bobby Wagner is still maybe not great like he used to be, but he is still really good. You got Von Miller, which, yeah, okay, I guess. I don't know. You know, Javon Kinlaw. Like, you got some names, but
yeah.
I just am so uncertain. Like, I look at this roster and I'm like, straight up, this still might be the 4th best roster in this division. I mean, there really is an argument. Like, obviously the Eagles are 1, but like the Giants, the changes they made to their roster this year, like, is it really? How much worse is it than the Commanders roster? How much worse is the Cowboys roster compared? I don't know. But then I look at that quarterback position.
Yeah.
And they got a dude. They got the dude. They got the dude that I think is going to be a top 5 quarterback at the end of the year.
Damn.
And it confused, because like I want to look at this team and go, this is a 3rd place team. They're taking a step back. They're missing the division, and I'm like, you really going to say that about the player that could probably be a top 5 quarterback? You really, your prediction this year is he's going to miss the playoffs. And I'm like, well, I don't know about all that actually. So Christian, I'll turn it over to you. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I feel you on this roster. This last year was just so weird because like I felt like coming into the season, people were like, "Hey, watch out for the Commanders. I think they could be like a really solid squad. Yeah, frisky, very solid squad. Maybe they win 7, 8 games, be whatever." But then they win 12 games, and they were 7-5 last year and won their last 5 games.
Yep.
Can you tell me can you name the only other team to win their last 5 games?
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, it was the and so it just, I don't want to say you've probably been hearing this a lot, but I mean, this team was ahead of schedule. This team should not have been that good. This team should not have gone 12-5. I mean, the 7-5 was great, but toward the end of that season, they probably should have won like 2-3 games, maybe. Like they should not have. They maybe could have snuck into the playoffs, but they probably should have lost that wild card game. But they didn't, and they beat the Lions. Then they beat the Packers, and then they beat the Lions, and then they got mollywopped in the championship with versus the Eagles. But this team is way ahead of schedule, and I feel like this last year. So I'm kind of feeling like this team's gonna, I guess, it's gonna look like regression because they went 12-5, won their last 5 games, and made it to the championship game. But I feel like this is gonna be a course correction where maybe they go 10-7, maybe 9-8, and they miss the playoffs, or they get bounced in the divisional. I don't know. So it's gonna be fun watching this team, and it's all because of that dude, number 5. He was phenomenal last year, and Cliff Kingsbury's coming back, calling the plays. But yeah, that defense, I still think needs like another draft or 2.
Yeah.
Before this defense is really, really solid. They got some dudes on here, like you said, Bobby Wagner. He's old. Lattimore.
Yeah.
I mean, he came in last year and he didn't really play that much. I think he was injured. Kinlaw you're talking about. So that like they got it's just they got some dudes over there. I like Terry McLaurin. They did get that deal done. Happy for him. They got his money. Debo, I know everybody was making fun of his weight, but I think Debo is going to be really solid. Noah Brown and Zach Ertz there. It's just going to be really, really interesting. And I would like to just talk about like their offense for a little bit. And I
Sure.
thought it was really, really fun. And I know I was listening to the Brett Coleman podcast, and it was just listening about their offense, and it was really, really funny to hear. Like they were one of the top teams in early down screen passes.
Oh yeah.
Like that was like their offense, just screen passes, and we'll throw like a bomb too. And then they did get solid production from their, I think, running backs last year. And then they had to kind of flip that when they went 7-5. They had to like switch it up, and they weren't so screen heavy, and they were just throwing the ball all over the field there. And I'm just a little scared that of just a team that is so reliant on their young quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with that. Like I think he's good. Like he looked great last year, and I think I'm not fully there yet, but toward the end of the season, if he has phenomenal numbers and maybe his team just can't get over the hump, I won't put that on him as long as he plays well individually. But I think he can be a top 5 quarterback. But I just I'm not in love with the fact that hey, we're leaning on our year 2 quarterback to you know take us to the promised land. I don't think they'll make the Super Bowl, but yeah, I'll let you go, Jake.
No, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, again, like if I was having this roster in 2022, I'd be like, oh, this roster, this is a crazy roster right here. But in 2025, like, how much do I like Marshawn Lattimore, Bobby Wagner, Von Miller, Javon Kinlaw, Daron Payne? Like I don't love them that much, and I do agree with you. Like, to me, my thought is I really just would want to go to the playoffs. Like, yeah, you don't want to get bounced early in the playoffs. Like, I feel like you want to at least get to the divisional. But like, the last time Washington went to the playoffs back to back years, I think it was in the early 2000s. I mean, it has not been recent. Like, they went in 2012, and then they went in like 2015.
Oh.
And that was the last time they were in the playoffs.
Okay, I thought they were a little bit more successful during the Kirk years, but okay.
Nah. You could double check me. Maybe Kirk went like twice, but he didn't go back to back years. And I honestly have no idea when the last time they won. Had back to back seasons where they won playoff games. So like, if you're telling me this team goes 10-7, 11-6, and wins another playoff game, and Jaden just continues to excel and progress, and he's amazing, like, you basically have told me, like, okay, this is just who you are now. You're just, as long as Jaden Daniels is here, you're just going to be a perennial playoff team. And that's all you need to be. That's all you need to be. And look, they get another year where they can beef up this defense, add some depth with some younger, cheaper pieces. They get him another weapon because he needs another weapon. He's got enough weapons in the sense that he can be successful with what he's got, but like, you can really turbocharge this offense if you get another guy to pair with Terry McLaurin. That's not
a
yeah, tight end would be great. So
tight end or a receiver
or somebody that's not Debo. So. And I feel bad because this team really is ascending, and I don't mean to make it sound like they're not ascending. Like, yeah. I just think we need to be kind of realistic with our expectations. I do not think this team is spoiler alert, I do not think this team is going to win this division this year. I just do not think they are there yet as a roster, especially with what that fucking monster over there in Philadelphia's got. I just do not see how this team does that personally. So
I'm right there with you. Yeah, like they overachieved last year, but I feel like this is going to be like a more come down to earth type season for them.
I
And
agree.
hey, I mean, look, hats off to them for they had to get a new owner, new GM, new head coach, and all that stuff. And I feel like they're headed in the right direction.
The
It
vibes are good.
just the vibes are good in Washington. It just they just had a magical season. Like
They did.
they had a magic season last year.
It really was. And I mean, look, like they won a lot of games last year that you probably go, I don't know if we should have won that game. That
They won a
Bengals game was
lot of
crazy. They should not have won that game.
They won a lot of close score games.
I mean, I don't even think I need to mention the Bears game. Like, that should have been a loss.
They should have lost.
That should have been a loss. And that was not a loss. So, how much of that are you going to get to have again this year? I don't know. I don't really mind the losses. Jonathan Allen being gone. I mean, Jonathan Allen's older, so, like, it is what it is. Dante Fowler, like, you lost some depth, but overall you should be fine. And I did like their draft. Trey Amos, reading his draft profile and kind of learning a little more about him, he is a really good corner. Like, I think that is a great piece for their secondary. Jalen Lane in the 4th round, like, maybe they get lucky and they hit on a 4th-round receiver, and that's their future at that position. Like, you never know. So, in theory, they do have some pieces, but if I was a betting man, I would guess no. I would guess they're still a little ways away.
Come next offseason in the draft, I think this team will be. I think this will be prepared for like a deep, at least hopefully a deep playoff run.
Yeah, and they're gonna have a good amount of cap space next year to set that up. Just keep drafting well, keep doing your thing. I like their GM. He came from San Francisco, so I trust him to kind of keep building up this team. I'm a big fan of Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn was a great defensive coordinator, and I know it's a shameful Super Bowl, but he did go to a Super Bowl with the Falcons. So, and he did it with Matt Ryan, who, no offense to Matt Ryan, he won an MVP that year, but he is not Jaden Daniels. He is not Jaden Daniels. So I like them. I like what they got. I just am not expecting them to be super duper competitive, or not. With the upper echelon of the league this year. I think they're still in that. This was a bad team.
Went 4-13 in 2023. I mean, 8-1 in 2022.
I mean, there was a reason this team was as bad as it was. They got a new head coach and they did all those things. Like, they had a lot of work to do on this roster, and they still do. So, Washington fans, I don't mean to poo-poo your team, but you still got a little bit of work. It's okay though. It's okay because you have the quarterback of the future. You have the guy that is probably 2 years from now going to be, in my opinion, the bona fide best quarterback in your division or in your conference. Like, I don't think anybody is going to have. You're going to be the AFC team of the NFC. You're just going to have a dope quarterback in a conference full of good rosters. And you can win a lot of games being that. So, you're always going to have a chance. Be happy. But where are you at for their ceiling and floor?
I think ceiling is like 10-7, 11-6, which I guess is a step back. But yeah, like I said, I think they're gonna have a come back down to earth. They're having a kind of a tough schedule here. Green Bay. I think the Raiders will be better. Not sure about the Falcons, the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Lions, your Broncos, the Vikings, and toward the end of the year, late in the season they got the Eagles. They still got to face those demons. They got their last 4 games were division games.
That's crazy. And and it's against two of the last 3 games are against Philadelphia. That's brutal.
And then floor for me is probably like 8 and 9, 9 and 8, maybe 7 and 10 if like they get some like tough injuries. I don't think this team is very deep as well. So
Yeah, I think I know people are like, guys, really? Like, what are you talking about? This team went to the. When we went into year 2 with Houston, we had a historically good rookie quarterback on a roster that was missing a lot of pieces, and they went in and they attacked it aggressively. And in a bad division, they went 10-7, and won a playoff game. Not taking that away from them, but like
this is a different division.
this is a different division. This is a division of divisions. I mean, all 4 of these teams. Maybe you don't think maybe they're not like really good, but like they've all got pretty high floors generally speaking. And I just don't be surprised if like I don't think they'll go 8-9. I would put their floor. I think 8-9 is a good floor like if everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
But like I think 10-7, 11-6 is reasonable for this team. I have that much faith in Jaden Daniels. I could see their ceiling, like, if things do click and, like, Jaden Daniels is just not missing a beat and he comes in, like, I could see them going 12-5 again.
And going back to the championship?
I would say that is their, like, absolute ceiling. But I don't think they'll get there. I mean, that's if everything goes well.
What if they just become that team? They just always go. They're just always in the championship.
I mean, at some point, I think Commanders fans would probably be pretty sad, but
yeah.
For a couple of years, you're going to enjoy it. For a couple of years, that's a lot of fun, but then you become like the Ravens and Bills, and you're just like, why?
Why can't we break through?
Why can't we go past this round? So, no, but, I mean, Commanders fans, you have a lot of reason to be happy. Like, don't set yourself up to have too high of expectations this year only to be let down because you're just not quite there.
I think you as a Commanders fan, I mean, maybe not the delusional ones, obviously, but I feel like the realist ones might be like, we could maybe take a bit of a step. Like, that was crazy. Like, come on. That was crazy. And this roster, nobody's arguing this roster is like a top roster in the league.
Yeah, no. Well, except some people who put them in their top 10 list. Which, I mean...
Yeah, we don't talk to those people. We don't talk to those people.
I love Commanders fans. I know a lot of Commanders fans. I went to a Washington Cowboys game once, and we just chilled in the parking lot and tailgated with well, at the time, Washington fans. We'll call them Washington fans, right? But, they were, we were chilling with them, and, I mean, they're great people, and I have a lot of Washington fans that are close to me in my life, so, like, I don't root against them actively unless like they're in the way of the Cowboys. But I mean, y'all should be happy. Y'all got your quarterback of the future, and this looks like it's gonna be really, really special for the next decade. You should just enjoy it, but don't feel like this year's the end all be all if things don't go the way you're thinking they will. All right, let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
Let's talk about
my team. Die hard. I bleed silver and blue. I love this team.
Do you?
I do. I love this team.
Your owner makes it very hard.
Like a parent watching their child fail. I have a lot I want to say, obviously.
Of course.
So I will go ahead and not say all that yet. I will let you go, and I will play off of you.
Okay. 2024, not great. Injuries, to Micah, a lot of people on that defense. Dak got injured late in that season, but they still were able to come out 7-10. So, like, I don't know why all this doom and gloom is hovering over the Cowboys like that. Like, I think it's insane. Now, kind of got a tough schedule. They're opening up on the road versus Philly, and their owner is playing a game of chicken with their best player on that team, like, bar none, like, not even an argument. I don't know what's going on, but I think it'll get handled. But at this point, you have maybe not have bad blood, but I mean, it might sting a little bit. But once you get that money, it could probably eat that up a little bit. But now, we're less than how many days till next Thursday, and we're not having if they do get it done, Micah Parsons not going to be on the field all the time. Like, It's insane. So Jerry's is his own thing. I don't know what's going on here. I'm rooting on Brian Schottenheimer. Obviously, he's gonna be calling the plays too. That's gonna be crazy. But I do think they're gonna establish the run a lot more, which I think will help Dak. Now, it's not a spectacular running back room, but I think it's gonna be a running back by committee. So and taking the ball out of Dak's hands, like Dak is good. He's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. Um, but I think they're gonna at least try to establish that run a little bit more. I like Matt Eberflus coming in to help that defense, but if he doesn't get Micah, I'm sorry, but Jake, I think even you would agree this defensive unit is bottom of the league. I don't know if it's the worst, but it's bottom of the league.
The data
If,
says it is bottom of the league, or at least one of the 2 or 3 bottom of the league teams.
so he needs y'all need your best player, Micah Parsons, back. But I'm expecting a bounce back year from Dak, um, and CD Lamb. George for George Pickens is kind of the wild card here. I don't know how he's gonna do. I think Ferguson's fine. I feel like y'all do fine with your white tight ends. Like they're not spectacular. They're not gonna be like top 10 tight end, but they'll do fine. I think your offensive line. I think y'all have done great drafting and they'll be good. So I'm not worried about the offensive line. I think it'll just be can you stay healthy? Dak can stay healthy, and then can you get a running game? I still think it's going to be really hard for y'all to stop the run. Y'all biggest Achilles heel that y'all have for some reason just cannot figure out how to do. But that with all that being said, I still think this team is going to be solid, and I think still is going to have a really good chance of making the playoffs. So, Jake,
See,
go ahead.
yeah, I mean,
I did say a lot there.
No, you're good. You're good. And a lot of it I did agree with, but I will say I'm very split on this team. I mean, because I hear what you're saying. Like, that's something I felt a lot. Like, you have so many people being like, this team's going to win 7 games this year. And it's like, guys, we won 7 games last year with a first place schedule and injuries to our whole team, including our quarterback. Like, you think we're going to win the same amount of games this year? Like, that doesn't really compute for me. But at the and I mean, really, what doomed us last year was we went on a 5-game losing streak in the middle of the season. We were 3-2 at one point, and we ended the season 4-3 in our last 7 games. We won 4 out of 5 games at one point. So it was really just that 5-game stretch where we lost Dak, we were missing D-Law, we still were missing Deron Bland, Micah was out of the lineup for a month, and it was just. I think it just took us a while to kind of find our footing, and we imploded. And then by the time we kind of found it, it was too late. But Mike McCarthy is gone. Shoddy is in. I'm a little nervous about Shoddy. I feel like a bride about to get married, where like all summer I'm like, guys, y'all have too little faith in Shoddy. Shoddy's gonna be fine. But then as we're getting closer and closer, all my friends keep telling me, he's not right for you. You need to move on. You can do better. He's not right. You're just settling. And I feel like a bride on her wedding day getting closer and closer, and I'm starting to get cold feet about Brian Schottenheimer. I'm like, oh, what if they're all right? What if Brian Schottenheimer is actually not like a good head coach?
I mean, the league didn't set him up with the best start. With the opening game against Philly, week 1, but week 2, I think with the Giants, a little bit more his speed. We'll see how he handles that.
And I also like again, as you said, Matt Eberflus. I do like him as our DC. I mean, this is like we're not contenders. Like it's which blows because I at least like when we can pretend that we're contenders.
Yeah. This. Oh, I forgot a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. This roster has. I mean, has this been like the. I guess. Not the. Would you say this is kind of like since they've been like that? I guess they've always been relevant, but when they were like winning the 12 games back to back or whatever, do you feel like this is like the worst roster that y'all have sent out there this year? Like in a minute, like maybe like five,
Yeah, I mean,
10
yeah, it is
games.
a weaker roster, but I think it's very undervalued in a lot of areas. Like everybody thinks our secondary is terrible, and I don't understand that. Like our secondary, everybody had our secondary as a top 5 unit last year. We were missing Deron Bland for half the season, and then when Deron Bland came back, we were missing Trayvon Diggs. They played on the field together one time last year, like for one game. That was it. And I get it. We lost Jordan Lewis. Jordan Lewis is a great, really really good corner. So I'm bummed about that. But like, I mean, we got Donovan Wilson, solid safety. Malik Hooker, solid safety. Deron Bland and Trayvon Diggs are coming back. I mean, we went and added we went and added Siobhan Revel, which I mean, yeah, he's coming off an injury, but like he could have been a first round pick. Like we have talent in our. We have Israel back there. Like we have a really good secondary that a year ago everybody said, man, this personnel's really good, and now a year later everybody's like, they got like a bottom 8 secondary. It's like what happened? What changed, y'all? I don't understand. So I mean, and our defensive line is still really good. I mean, if Micah's there, solid. Love me some Oso Digizua. I love Oza. And you know, Marshawn Nealon's not bad. Marshawn Nealon was our second round pick last year. He had a decent rookie season. I expect him to kind of keep jumping. We went and got Ezeraku in the second round, and I mean, you know, I like the depth now. Yes, is Mozzie Smith probably not good? Yeah, Mozzie Smith probably not good. That's fine. We got Toya in the 7th round though, so we kind of got some depth there if we need to move off of him. We have Solomon Thomas on the roster. Like, we got some nice depth. And, I mean, look, our linebackers, too. I mean, I like our linebackers. It's unfortunate that Demarion Overshown is going to be out for basically half the season because DeMarvion Overshown is a stud. I mean, he is so good. But, you know, we went and got Kenneth Murray, which I don't feel great about. But Jack Sanborn coming over from the Bears with Matt Eberflus. Jack Sanborn, I think, is a really good. He'll be a solid linebacker for us, a nice depth piece. And Maurice Leaf, I can never remember how to pronounce his name. Maurice Lufau had a really, really good rookie season. He was one of our best defensive players last year, all season long. He was really, really good. So, and he's having a great camp. So, I mean, I look at our defense and I'm like, it's not very deep, but we got dudes. Like, we got some good dudes. And
But you don't have the dude.
well, if we get Micah,
Practicing.
then yeah, I mean, Micah, I think if we have Micah and we have some injury luck, this is easily, to me, going to be a top 12 defense. Now, the injury luck is one thing because the Cowboys specialize in losing 2 players and their entire team falls apart. So, you know, you never know if that's going to happen. But I do like our defense on paper. I think it's solid, and I do think, I mean, we don't stop the run because we like to have like 8 under Dan Quinn. We would do this thing where we would have like 8 safeties on the roster, and we would pretend some of them were linebackers, and we would get a lead on you, and we would just send our awesome pass rush after your ass and have our safety linebackers just flying all over the field, and it's like you can't throw the ball and you're getting hit. And then, of course, when we're down and it's like, okay, now you can just run on us, we don't got the size to stop you. So, I mean, that's just been our philosophy. Like, it's not being able to stop the run is a feature, not a bug. It's how we have designed our defense. I'm not saying it's necessarily the right way to design a defense, but it's not. We are intentionally trying to build a defense essentially that cannot stop the run. Like we are. We're trying to have a defense that can play off of our offense, get a lead on you, and then come and get your ass. So let's talk about that offense. I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, you know, I'm not as big of a fan of George Pickens as everybody else is. That said, I fully expect to, you know, be in here 2 months from now defending George Pickens for his 5th fight of the season. if he is racking up
Like,
stats
nah,
for
he's just fired up the team. He's just so passionate.
Well, that guy had it coming. You see what he was doing to George. Like, because I'm looking up halfway through the season, George Pickens has 7 touchdowns for us, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you want to fight a dude every game? I'm cool with that. That's cool with me. So,
I mean, was it tolerance versus production?
Yeah, so, but like, I'm not as high on George Pickens as everybody else is, but that said, I mean, his deep threat, he's an incredible deep threat. So, like, I'm hoping it works out.
I do like a high middle ground with CD. If you can return CD back to the slot, I think that would be a really good thing for this offense.
Well, we don't have another outside receiver is the problem. Like,
yeah, Turpin.
We can't run Devontae Turpin on the outside.
Oh, come on!
We can't run Cavante on the outside. I would love it if Cavante could, but Cavante does the thing well he needs to. He is one of the best punt returners in the NFL. That's all I need him to be, and get him in there for some gadget plays here and there. But nevertheless,
Tolbert.
Yeah, Jalen Tolbert's not bad. Jalen Tolbert's kind of disappointed me, but. I mean, again, last year was just a down year for everybody. But look. Offensive line, it's young, but it's got some talent. I've got faith that Tyler Guyton and Cooper Bebe are going to step up in year 2. They had rough rookie seasons. Tyler Smith, stud. One of the best guards in the NFL. And then Tyler Booker.
I trust y'all.
Zach Martin.
Yeah, I trust y'all at least. He might maybe not be amazing from the get-go, but I still think he's going to be a really good guard for you guys. Y'all evaluate that position, the offensive line pretty well.
100%. I agree. I mean, I think we have earned the benefit of the doubt when it comes to drafting offensive linemen in the first round. I remember when we drafted Tyler Smith, and everybody's like, he's the most penalized player in the college, guys. This is not going to work out. And it's like, yeah, you're going to tell the team that's drafted 3 All-Pros in the first round in the past decade, you're going to tell them that they don't know how to draft an offensive lineman? Okay, we'll see how it works. And then Tyler Smith is one of the best guards in the league. So, and then, I'm going down the list, and I'm like, Tyler Guyton, okay, I got Tyler Smith, I love that. Cooper Bebe, Tyler Booker, I like that. And then I get to Terrence Steele, and I go, oh, right. Terrence Steele is still on our team. I don't like Terrence Steele. The Cowboys do not like Terrence Steele, but he is there because he is a body. And he will not be a body on our team for long. He will probably be out the door next year. So that is what it is. And then Jake Ferguson. I think Jake Ferguson's going to have a bounce-back year this year. I like Jake Ferguson.
I'd never hate y'all's white tight ends.
The question that we have, the biggest question that's going to haunt this team is if we can run the ball.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. And Javonte Williams, I'm going to tell
you
right now.
Defense, but if Micah doesn't get back, but yeah, sure.
Javonte Williams ain't it.
That's why I said I think it's going to be a running back by committee. He drafted 2 of them, and one in the 5th round, Jaden Blue, and then one in the 7th round. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think Jalen Williams is going to be he'll be the starter probably, but I think it's going to be different packages for all these guys.
I don't think he will be the starter for long. I mean, he was bad in Denver last year. I mean, Denver had literally the best run blocking offensive line in the league, and he was among the worst in basically every advanced metric among running backs. I mean, so I do not think he is long for the starting job. Jaden Blue is causing some concerns in practice.
Oh, no.
Yeah, his practice habits are good, and he had a fumbling problem when he was at Texas. So I'm a little nervous about that. And then if our best back is Miles Sanders, it's like, guys. I don't know. I'm hoping we have our new offensive line coach. He came from the Cardinals. I'm hoping he can create us some creative run plays because we're very our running concepts for the past. Mike McCarthy is not a running guru. He never was, even in Green Bay. He's very much I'm kind of just running the ball because I have to. They tell me I need to run the ball, so I'll run the ball, I guess. So we'll just do inside zone every time I have to run the ball. And it's this isn't working. And he's like, yeah, it sounds like we should pass it. It's well, I mean, so I'm a little annoyed that they didn't do more to address their running back room. And I know, we drafted 2 running. I don't care, bro. Come on, dude. They went and got, again, it's old news now, but Derrick Henry for $8 million is in Baltimore, and he wanted to come to Dallas, and Dallas is like, we can't afford to pay him.
Can't afford. You can't be paying top money for a running back. It wasn't even top money.
It was $8 million. They didn't even say Saquon got like 13.
Yeah, it wasn't even top money.
We're 5 years removed from the contract we gave Zeke, and they still weren't making as much annually as Zeke was after that contract he signed. Like, it's ridiculous. So we're going into year 4 without having addressed our running back room. I mean, even when Tony Pollard and Zeke were here, they were not amazing. Like, they were not that good. And now Jaden Blue seems like he could be good, I think. I mean, again, some concerns, but I don't know. I'm worried this is going to look a lot like 2019 and 2020, where we can't run the ball.
So it's going to be Dak passing.
And it's just Dak passing it all the time, and we're falling behind in games, and then we're down like
Dak
27-7.
Dak loves it when y'all get down late in them games.
And we're throwing like 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns and making it 21-27, and it's like,
they only lost by like 3.
We recover this onside kick, we have a chance, and then we don't. And then it's like, yeah, well, so I'm a little worried that might be how this looks. And look, I hope Brian Schottenheimer does well, but who the fuck knows how he's going to look? Like, no idea how he's going to look. So
Jerry gave him a chance.
I don't think the Micah contract, like, people are painting the Micah contract as like, it's a sign that something's wrong with the Cowboys, right? Because they always do this. Like, I'm not saying that, but like, people are acting like it's going to affect the Cowboys play throughout the season. It's not. That's not going to be the thing that dooms the Cowboys or why they're just. It's not. That said, like, of all the teams in this division, it feels like the Cowboys are the one that is like has bad vibes. Like, the Giants vibes are up, Commanders vibes are up, the Eagles, and then the Cowboys. Everybody's like, nah, this ain't it, Chief.
I mean, I know it's not all the Micah Parsons thing, but I mean, a lot of it is, and it's just like it just feels icky. It just feels nasty what's going on.
It is. So, I'm not a fan of it, and I really wish we didn't operate this way. I mean, it literally is just like entertainment. That's all it is. Like, at this point, that's the only explanation.
That's what he said in his Netflix show. This is like a soap opera or whatever.
I'll drum it up. I don't care. And it's true. So,
would you quick thing, because I've been meaning to ask you this. I don't know who said it, but I heard this on First Things First, and I just want to ask you: do you think now we always hear about Jerry, talking about how he pay any amount of money to win a Super Bowl, and I think the quote is like, if you told Jerry he could win the next 3 Super Bowls, but he could never do an interview, you think he'd do it? And I'll just say this. Do you think he could do it for 1 year? If he could not do interviews for a year, do you think he would do it for a Super Bowl win? I think he would, but he'd be like foaming at the mouth, like throughout the season. I gotta say something.
I think of Jerry as like I think he would on paper say yes. I think as people, we have a version of ourselves that we try to strive to be, or like we want to be, or maybe we even think of ourselves as that, right? Like, and every day we're trying to be a little closer to that version, but we get in our own way. We self-sabotage sometimes, and we, how you say, fall back into our bad habits, right? Like, I know I want to read a lot more, and I struggle to read consistently, as consistently as I want to, right? Like, it's what it is. I feel like when Jerry says, I want to win a Super Bowl, and I will do anything I have to do to win a Super Bowl, I think he genuinely means that.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think that
lying. But I think that is like his idealized version of himself. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, Jerry is a showman. Jerry likes the attention. He likes to talk. He likes the glamour of being the Dallas Cowboys. And no matter how badly he might want that version of himself to be the version that we see, he's an 80-year-old man. He's in his own ways. He's in his habits. And he's got a lot of bad habits that undermine that goal that he has, and he can't get out of his own. Like I think that is what's going on with Jerry. So I think he would say let's do it, but I don't think he could do it. Like I just don't. I think he's too far gone in his own bad habits to like get out of his own way. So yeah.
That was well said, Jake. That was well said.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's the Cowboys. Part of me kind of hopes we bottom out. That'd be cool. It'd be kind of funny. I feel like we're like where the Steelers are like 2 years from now, where it's like we're trying to patchwork a team that is just clearly going in the wrong direction.
And you're just refusing to accept the reality.
And at some point, like the bottom is going to come. We're not going to be good, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my pessimism will be proven wrong. Maybe we'll go win 11 games this year. Brian Schottenheimer's a great coach, and it turns out, actually, we got some young dudes that can step in here. We got some depth. We got guys. Our defense is good. Mike is still an elite level player. Dak had a good season, and maybe one of our running backs pop. Like maybe that's the reality we get, and it wouldn't be the first time that has happened with this team, because we go into seasons where we're just like down on this team, and then we look up and it's like, how did they win 11, 12 games? How did that happen? So I do think if things are not going well, maybe we make a trade. I don't know. Maybe we trade for a running back or something. If that is just what is stopping our offense, I don't know. All right, let's just whatever. Ceiling floor. Go ahead. Give me your ceiling floor.
Ceiling, I think 10-7. I would say 11-6, but I'm not. I think 10-7 is like a really good outlook for this team, just with like all the issues they have. So yeah, I'll go 10-7. Floor. I'd say about last year, 7-10, 8-9. I think that's their floor.
Yeah,
we'll see. They got some tough games here. they play the Chiefs on Thanksgiving. That'll be fun. Did you ever get tickets for that?
No, not yet. But I need to try. That's gonna be the time I have to see Patrick Mahomes.
Those tickets are insane. They played Philly the week before. They play the Chargers, Vikings. They got the Commanders twice. Play the Packers, your Broncos, and my Arizona Cardinals. Maybe we'll see. Yeah, that's what I got there. What about you?
Yeah, I think you're spot on. 10-7 feels like the ceiling. I mean, unless again, like this team is just shockingly good in areas like Brian Schottenheimer turns out like, is he like a really good coach? Actually,
offensive guru.
Yeah, like I unless something like that happens, like realistically, I think the ceiling on this team is 10-7. Like, not a bad roster, not a great one. It's got some dudes, got some star power, and if it has some injury luck, it can win. It can surprise some teams, and it can win some games. And it'll win the gimmies. Like, that's what the Cowboys do. They beat up on the tomato cans. They're going to win the games they're supposed to. But the floor, it's really hard for me to say less than 6 wins. Like, as much as I rag on Dak, and as much as everybody rags on Dak, like, I do not see Dak being in the starting role for an entire season and only winning 6 games. Like, that just does not compute to me. I just don't see that. So I think the floor, at bare bones floor, is like 6 wins unless something crazy like happens injury wise. Like, obviously it could go lower. But yeah, I think 10-7 and 6-11 are kind of my ceiling floor. I feel like this team will go 8-9 or 9-8. And I mean, I don't know. There's every team in this division I feel like is actually good, and I really have no idea what to make of it. This really could be the 4th place team this year, even if they win 8 games. I mean, it really could.
We'll see when we make those predictions. I don't know.
Coming up on Monday. Tune in. But anything else you want to say on this?
No, You're playing the Eagles week 1. Like, come on, bro. Like, get that man signed. Like, this is crazy.
I will say, I thought like I was watching First Things First, and they were like, "Do they not understand that they're actually like second billing to the Eagles on Thursday?" And they all said it like it was like obvious, and I'm like, guys, you have yet to open a single show about the Eagles. Every one of your shows you're opening up is about the Cowboys. Everybody is talking about the Cowboys going into that game. Like nobody is talking. The Eagles are hanging a banner, and people are talking about Micah Parsons. Like, in what world do you think that the cow like the cow? I digress. I digress. All right, Christian. 31 teams down, 1 to go. The New
Last
York
one.
Football Giants. I'll go ahead and let you tee this up. 3-14 last year. I don't even know how much we got to talk about last year.
We can just throw last year out. We don't
Yeah,
really need to talk about that.
they did move off of Daniel Jones, which was amazing to see.
Finally.
That was
Why
hilarious.
That was.
Happened in the middle of the year. That was hilarious. But I digress. Christian, how do you feel about the Giants going into this year?
I kind of like this team. Like, I'm not in love with it, but I do like it. They're getting better quarterback play. Like, that's just not an argument. I don't want to hear it. They're getting better quarterback play. Um, I like their running back, Tracy Jr. I thought he had a solid rookie year last year. I love Malik Neighbors. I think he'll be great. And seeing the Russell Wilson moonball to Malik Neighbors is going to be, I think, pretty fun. Andrew Thomas, one of the best young tackles in the league. I think unit's not amazing, but I still think they have, I think, a group that can be solid. Um, and, Darius Slayton and Wayne Dale Robinson, I think, are all okay. And then their tight end, John. So weapons outside of Neighbors is really the best one. But and Tracy, I think Tracy will be fine. But offensively, not amazing, but they are, I think, gonna that one spot that they needed to fix. I think they fixed that, and they're gonna get better overall play. This offense will operate a bit better. Not gonna be insane, amazing. You're not gonna be like top. We're not gonna be at the end of the 2025, and we're gonna look up and the Giants are gonna be top 10 or top 5 in a lot of advanced offensive metrics. But I still like this offense. Not like the greatest unit, but I still like it. Don't get me wrong. And then this defensive line, I think I think you could make an argument it's top 5, but by the end of this year, I think it is going to be one of the probably will be the best defensive line in the league. Spoiler alert: Abdul Carter is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm booking it right now, so that's already my one prediction gone there, Jake, for me. So you can book that. Dexter Lawrence, amazing, one of probably the best defensive tackle out there in the league right now. So I think he's gonna be good. I think Brian Burns is gonna be good, and then they got that dude Kavan. I know he hasn't really hasn't really been the guy that they wanted, but I think unit wise, very very solid. I think that by the end of this year, this defensive line I think is going to be a great unit. And then they got some guys right there. They took Javon Holland. I think he's a really good safety. I know he had a down year last year, but I do like him back there. He's a veteran, so I think he will play great. And Jackson Dart, I like the approach that they took with him. I may not didn't didn't love him coming out of the draft, but I mean they brought in Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, so 2 veterans ahead of him. So I think they're taking the cautious approach, and I think he did have a good. Jackson Dart had a good preseason, but they're taking it slow. 2 veterans ahead of him. I mean, if he's ready, he's ready. But I think Russell Wilson's been named the starter, so he's not obviously ready. So I at least appreciate that. And then also on that defense, their slot corner, Andrew Phillips, I think is really, really good. He's been good. Linebacker, Bobby Okereke had a good season last year, so I think collectively this team is better. Um, it's better than they were. This is the best Giants team we have seen in quite a bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree a lot with what you said. Um, I really do like this team. And to be totally honest, if I wasn't as head over heels about the Vikings as I was actually going to make the Giants my sleeper team. I just, this defense, like, I did a top five. I did a short about my top five defenses. And there was a couple that, people were like, where are the Seahawks? And I'm like, I went back and forth about the Seahawks and, the Vikings. And I'm like, I wanted to put the Vikings on, and I just, back and forth. A bunch of people, though, were like, what about the Giants? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah. Like, their front seven, I think, is automatically one of the best in the NFL. Abdul Carter, I think, is going to be a monster. And, I mean, he's already been a monster. I think he is going to be awesome. Everything in camp is saying he's awesome. He's, like, immediately one of their best players. I mean, and as you say, Kayvon Thibodeau has not lived up to billing. But, next to Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, and you have Abdul Carter, like, that is a crazy front unit. I mean, that is an awesome unit. And then, of course, they have Bobby Okereke in the linebacking core, as you talked about. I really love that. And then in their secondary, even, I mean, look, Deonte Banks has had his ups and downs. Maybe he can kind of step forward and be okay. He's only going into year 3. So, I mean, he's still pretty young. But, I mean, they went and got Paulson Adebo, which is a great addition. I mean, that's solid. And then Javon Holland in the safety spot. I mean, they have studs at every level of this defense now. Definitely could be a top 5 defense by the end of the year, in my opinion. Offensively, it's going to be a little tough. I do like their receivers. Malik Neighbors is obviously, I mean, he's Malik Neighbors. He's awesome. Darius Slayton as a 2, I think that's where Darius Slayton belongs. Yeah. Like, when he's not, like, I know a lot of people are kind of, because he was their 1 basically for so long, it's like you didn't really get to see Darius Slayton be what he probably is, which is like a really good 2. Now he gets to be a really good 2 in an offense that, I mean, their line still leaves a lot to be desired. They probably still need another season to upgrade that, but, Russell Wilson, very serviceable. I know he's not what he once was, and, I would not want him as my quarterback personally, but he's serviceable, and he can get the ball.
I mean, a team that's been struggling so much.
Yeah.
I think if I was a team that was kind of like in the Giants' position, I'd be like, I mean, I guess he's better than Daniel Jones and Drew Lock.
Yeah, 100%. And look, this is going to be a defensive-led team.
Yes.
And I'm curious. I'm a little concerned about their running back room. A lot of people seem confident in it. Tyrone Tracy is good. Devin Singletary.
Not too bad.
And they got Cam Scatterbo.
Scatterbo.
I like Cam Scatterbo. Like that guy. I watched him in college a little bit. I mean, every time I watched him, I was like, man, this guy's a menace. This guy just is a little ball of menace. So I'm a little like their offense has a lot of work that needs to be done. But like I just feel like if they could be efficient on offense, like if they could just kind of be league average, if they could just be consistent-ish, find a decent floor, this team can win a lot of games this year.
Yeah, if they had average quarterback play last year, they could have won a bit more games.
I mean, this team, again, this is where it's like, man, like who is finishing 4th place in this division?
It's hard.
Like, who is doing it? Because I genuinely think this team is going to win 8 or 9 games this year. I mean, I have to pick the schedule and we'll see, but like
they've got a tough schedule. They play some good teams.
They do have a tough schedule, and it's very bizarre that they have possibly the hardest schedule in the league because they were the 4th place team last year. So
right,
very weird, but nonetheless, I mean, it's just I think they got you got to play the 49ers right, where it's like, well, that sucks. That sucks that y'all got to play the 49ers because they had a bad season last year. But I, I think this is going to be a defensive-led team. I think they're going to just do enough on offense. And I don't think it'll always be pretty. I think offensively it's going to be kind of a snooze fest unless one of their running backs really pops and Malik Neighbors is, Malik Neighbors will be good, but he can't be the only thing you're throwing the ball. He can't be the only person you're throwing the ball to. So
I think Darius Slayton can get behind defense here and there.
Yeah, for sure. So, but I do like this team a lot. I mean, this team really feels like it stopped the bleeding in a lot of places. And getting Jackson Dart in the first round, trading back up to get him, he obviously looked amazing in the preseason. I think the goal is obviously you don't want to see him on the field this year. You want to keep him on the bench on ice, let Russell and Jameis take over for the season. You can go into year 2 with Jackson Dart. You can invest heavily because your defense is good. I mean, your defense is set. Like, maybe get some depth, but next year we're getting offensive linemen, we're getting another receiver, and we're shoring up.
Or you can attack that also in the free agency too.
Yeah. So, and you do that. I mean, you're going to come in this next year and you're going to have your young quarterback set up ready to roll. And I just really I feel like the Giants finally have like real stability. Like even a couple years ago when they won a playoff game, that wasn't supposed to happen. Like that was like a weird like rando. Oh, okay, that was cool, I guess. Bizarre, but okay. This really feels like this team like stepped back and said, okay, where are we good? We're good on the defensive line. Let's go make that even more of a strength. Let's get Abdul Carter. Let's go get some secondary pieces. Now it's like our defense is firing. Our defense is awesome. Okay, what about offense? Let's stabilize the quarterback room. Let's just go get Russell Wilson. Let's draft our quarterback of the future. Let's get Jameis Winston. We got Malik Neighbors. Okay, so now we're stable on the offense, and we're possibly elite on defense. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I'm happy for Giants fans because, the entire time, Christian, you've basically been, like, invested in the league. The Giants have been ass. I mean, they have been terrible. So, and the league is a lot better when the Giants are good. These past 10 years or whatever, when the Giants have just been bottom barrel of the league, it's not good. It's not good for football. It's not fun. So, I'm happy for Giants.
At least one of the New York teams to be good.
And, hey, they both took really good steps this offseason, so hopefully they're both good in the near future. But, yeah, I think we're in agreement. I really do like a lot about this team. And, again, I thought they were – I already talked a lot about their draft, but, Darius Alexander in the third round, Cam we already talked about. They went and got they drafted a guard in the fifth. Like, I like a lot of what they did. I like a lot of what they did. So
now, if this season doesn't go well, now I think you said this team could win 8 games, but I think it's a positive. They won 3 last year, and they won 6 in 2023. A lot of talk about Brian Dable and their GM on the hot seat. If we're not, I guess we need to see improvement, obviously, but like I wonder how much improvement do we need to see, or are we going to see Brian Dable get fired? What are your thoughts on that?
I think there needs to be improvement. It's weird because one thing you see, right, is it's one thing if you're bad, but as long as if you have an offensive coach, right, and you're bad, but the offense is good, it's like, okay. Taking care of his side of the ball at least. But that's not going to be what this team's identity is. And Brian Dable's an offensive coach, so if this team goes 7-10 with a great defense and the offense is terrible, I don't know if Brian Daboll gets his job saved. Like, but it's weird because again, like all of their investment has been in the defense, so like they're kind of setting their offense up for failure in that sense. If I need to see at least 8 wins. I need to see, unless something weird happens or something goes crazy, like, I need to see 8 wins if I'm ownership. And I understand why they didn't want to fire him this year. I know it's easy for us as fans to sit here and go, just fire him. Just fire him. But, like,
yeah,
that's like as an owner, like John Mara has been searching through coaches multiple times over the past decade. If I'm John Mara, I'm like, guys, I do not want to go through another coach search. I do not want to do
same questions.
Like it is a process. It is not an enjoyable one. Like I and I was a little surprised that he kept his job. Like it's not very often you see a guy start out his career with a playoff win and he proceeds to get worse each of the next 2 years and keep his job. And obviously the whole Saquon Barkley thing that everybody talks about, which I think is way overblown. I think it's stupid because people are like, oh, they got rid of Saquon Barkley. Don't they look stupid? Saquon Barkley was not running for 2,000 yards on this team, y'all. Like, what are we doing here? Saquon Barkley played with this team for 5 years and was not good. Like, I mean, he was fine, but, like, I mean, he was not hitting 1,000 yards. He was hurt all the time. Like, they cut him because they're like, we have no reason to pay this man to be on our team. Like, our team is not set up to help this man succeed. There's no reason to keep him. We're going to let him go. And then the Eagles scooped him up, and he does good, and everybody wants to go, look how stupid you look, New York. No, they had there's no reason to keep him around on your team. Like, I digress. I think it's a stupid thing that people talk about, but anyway. Long story short, I would fire him if he doesn't win 8 games. Like, I need to see real improvement, and I need to see us like be competitive. And even if we don't get into the big dance at the end, we need to have a shot at the big dance.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, well said.
And to be honest, if we get swept by the Cowboys this time, depends on how we get swept, but like,
I feel like they with this defense, I think they'll keep them. I think they'll keep that from happening. I don't think they'll get swept this year. We'll see.
We're still going 0-6 in division. Unacceptable. So, anyway, that is what I got on the Giants. Anything else before we get to ceiling and floor?
No, that's about it.
I mean, do you think they'll get fired?
Oh yeah, I didn't do that, Steve. I agreed with a lot what you said. I think we have to. It's weird because like you said, they've kind of built this defense up. You know, they traded for Brian Burns, drafted Abdul Carter there, and it was like, all right, we're gonna build up our defensive line. So, and they took Jackson Dart, and you know, he's their third string quarterback coming into this year. So they can't go 3-14 again.
Oh no!
They need to like you said. They at least need to be in a lot of these games. May not win them all, but you need to at least be in a lot of them and at least showing decent improvement. I think what can save Brian Daboll's job is like they need 8. They need to be as close to a winning season as possible, and 8-9 is I think is that threshold where he gets that. Maybe they're not bottom of the league, but like mid-tier offensively, and I think that will save his job.
And getting to their over/under, I mean, 5.5 is
pretty low.
Insane to me. Like I don't see how. Like I feel super confident in smashing that. I just like the only way this team wins 5 games this year is if things just go horribly wrong. I mean, they won 6 games 2 years ago with Daniel Jones, you know, like in a less talented roster. I mean, I'm smashing the over. What's their ceiling, Christian? What's their floor?
I'd say ceiling, absolute ceiling. Like, I mean, everything goes perfect for them, 10-7. But I'd say like the realistic one is like 9-8, maybe just barely missing the playoffs by a game or something. And floor, I mean, you better not go 7-10.
That's fine.
You better not go 7-10.
I think their floor is probably 7-10. It's I really do feel like they're kind of in the same vein as the Cowboys. Better defense. I mean, different team. Like better defense, worse quarterback play, but like I feel like 10-7 is like a realistic ceiling. I feel like 7-10 is a realistic floor. I just don't think they got the dudes offensively to really hang in there with a
Yeah.
lot of these teams. Like,
I mean, they got to play the Chiefs. They Eagles twice. Your Broncos, the Chargers, San Fran. We'll see what Chicago does. Green Bay, Detroit. I think the Vikings are going to be solid.
I mean,
The Commanders.
this
Jaden.
this defense to me feels like it's good for like 6 wins, right? Like you can win 6 wins with the defense that they have just off the rip. Like your offense doesn't even need to really be that good, but I mean, if you're gonna find another 3-4 wins here, you're gonna have to have some horsepower on offense. And look, maybe Malik Neighbors catching it on a slant and taking it 70 yards is your answer there.
That moon ball.
That moon ball, like maybe that's what this is gonna look like, but I just
they're more watchable this year.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna try to watch every game, but like I'm very excited to actually watch the Giants this year. That defense is gonna be so fun to watch. But
I'm excited. I hope they terrorize the league.
But like, are you keeping up with the Eagles off? And the nice thing is like you look at like Washington. I mean, their offense I think will be interesting, but I think a lot of people are overrating how good it will be. I think it'll be efficient. I don't think it'll be like star power lights out. We're putting up 30 points a game, buckos. You better watch yourself.
Yeah.
The Chiefs are, we'll see what we get with the Chiefs. The Chargers aren't that. The Broncos probably aren't going to be that. The Niners, the Packers, the Bears aren't going to be that. The Patriots probably won't be that. The Cowboys, the Raiders, the Vikings with a young core. Like, none of the teams they're playing except the Eagles and the Lions are like these high-powered, crazy, we're dropping 35 on you just by accident, like
we get out of bed.
So I think that's favorable for them. But I mean, they still do play a lot of really good teams, and it's going to be a lot of close games. And do they got the guys to win close games? Maybe if you get 2 of them, 2 or 3 of them, you'll be fine. But you're probably not winning a lot of them, to me. So, anything else?
No. And with that,
oh my God, it's done. It's done, Christian. Oh man.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I'm happy that it's done. I enjoy reading about all the teams. But it's stressful. It's stressful knowing, like, man, I got to research. I got to make sure I'm competent about these 4 teams to talk for on a podcast that I'm recording in like 2 days, and it's over. So, but yeah, everybody, with that, we're just about ready. We got 1 pod left before it is business as usual. Our pod on Monday, final predictions. We're picking. I don't know if we'll do records. I'm gonna do records just to be safe, but like I'm more interested in picking the division winners and the order of the divisions and all that stuff. So we're gonna pick all that on Monday. We're picking our playoff brackets. We're picking our Super Bowl winners, our Super Bowl teams, AFC Champ, NFC Champ teams. We're picking the award winners. Who's going to win MVP, offensive rookie, defensive rookie, offensive player, all of it. All of it.
I already got my defensive rookie already locked up.
I already know who mine is as well, but I'm not going to reveal it here. Though it shouldn't be that hard to piece together because I said he was probably going to get an All-Pro. I digress. But yeah, Christian, we're almost there. We got predictions. We got our predictions episode, and then our next episode is
a week from.
It's who you got. A week from today, we're recording a week 1 episode. So
we're making predictions. You got your bets. I got the rankings. We can get back to doing that stuff.
It's exciting, and we're gonna unveil a new segment. So keep an eye out for that. But all right, y'all. Well, until next time, we'll see you Monday. We love you. We cherish you. Please follow us, like us, subscribe to us, give us a comment, give us a rating, share us with your friends, do it all. We're everywhere. We're on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, wherever else podcasts are that you can see. We post daily content, post podcasts twice a week. You know the drill. Just give us some love. Until next time, take it easy.